There is a limitless source of wealth, success, and abundance within you, waiting to be recognized and claimed. The moment you align your thoughts with the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind, you unlock a flow of riches that no external force can block. Tonight, we awaken that power and boldly declare, I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind. This powerful declaration opens the gateway to a reality most people never even glimpse, a truth that Dr. Joseph Murphy spent his life illuminating for countless seekers around the world. When you truly grasp what it means to be one with the infinite riches of your subconscious mind, everything shifts. The limitations you once accepted as normal begin to dissolve, and a boundless flow of abundance starts to reveal itself in every area of your existence. Think about this deeply for a moment. Your subconscious mind is not some vague hidden corner of your brain that occasionally surfaces in dreams or fleeting feelings. It is the creative powerhouse of your entire being, the silent partner that works tirelessly behind the scenes, shaping your experiences according to the seeds you plant through your thoughts, beliefs, and repeated mental impressions. It operates with perfect precision, never arguing, never judging, simply accepting what you feed it and turning those impressions into tangible reality. When you affirm and feel that you are one with its infinite riches, you are aligning yourself directly with the source of all supply. The treasure house that Murphy described is a gold mine within you from which you can extract everything needed to live gloriously, joyously, and abundantly. This oneness means there is no separation between you and the unlimited intelligence, power, and prosperity that resides in the deeper levels of your mind. Infinite riches are not something you chase outside yourself through endless struggle or frantic effort. They are already present, omnipresent, waiting only for your recognition and acceptance. Murphy taught that infinite riches surround you if you will simply open your mental eyes and behold the treasure house of infinity within. Many people remain asleep to this truth, living in scarcity because they have never awakened to the marvelous power sleeping within their own subconscious depths. They look to external conditions, banks, jobs, or luck for their supply, never realizing that the real source flows from within. When you declare and embody, I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind, you are claiming your divine birthright. You are stepping into the understanding that wealth is not merely material accumulation, but a state of consciousness. It is the conviction, the inner knowing, that plenty is yours by nature. The subconscious mind responds to this conviction like fertile soil responding to a seed. Plant the idea of infinite riches there through repetition, faith, and feeling, and it will grow into tangible manifestations. Opportunities, ideas, resources, and financial flow that seem almost miraculous to those still trapped in limited thinking. Consider how the subconscious functions as a universal bank or financial institution of the mind. Whatever you deposit into it, thoughts of lack or thoughts of abundance, it magnifies and returns to you multiplied. If you have been unconsciously depositing fear about money, worry over bills, or beliefs that riches are for others but not for you, then that is exactly what it has been producing in your life. But the moment you consciously choose to impress it with the truth of your oneness with infinite riches, the dynamic changes. The old patterns begin to fade and new grooves of prosperity are etched into your mental framework. You start to attract circumstances, people, and ideas that match this elevated state. This principle is not abstract philosophy. It is a practical, workable law of mind. Murphy shared numerous accounts of individuals who transformed their financial situations simply by changing what they fed their subconscious. One person might have struggled for years with debt and limitation, feeling cut off from any real prosperity. Then, by persistently affirming their oneness with the infinite riches within, combined with vivid mental imagery of living in abundance and feeling the joy of financial freedom, their outer world began to rearrange itself. Unexpected checks arrived, new business opportunities appeared, creative ideas flowed, and the money that once seemed so elusive started circulating freely. Being one with the infinite riches means recognizing that your subconscious is one with infinite intelligence and boundless wisdom. It knows no boundaries, no shortages, no impossibilities. It is connected to the universal mind, the creative force that fashions galaxies and sustains life itself. When you align with it, you tap into that same creative intelligence for your personal affairs. Solutions to financial challenges emerge naturally. Inspirations for new ventures come at the right time. The right people enter your life to support your growth. All of this happens not through force or manipulation, but through harmonious alignment. Many people mistakenly believe that wealth comes only through hard physical labor, sacrifice, or climbing over others. Murphy challenged this limited view directly. He explained that trying to accumulate wealth solely by the sweat of your brow often leads to exhaustion and missed opportunities, while those who learn to work with the laws of mind achieve far greater results with ease and joy. The subconscious does not require you to struggle. It requires you to impress the right ideas with belief and expectancy. When you feel yourself as one with infinite riches, you stop pushing against life and begin allowing the natural flow. Visualize this clearly. See yourself as already connected to a vast ocean of abundance. Feel the peace and confidence that comes from knowing your supply is not dependent on any external condition, but flows from the inexhaustible source within. Murphy encouraged people to live in the joyous expectancy of the best, because by the law of attraction, you draw forth the riches of the infinite storehouse in your own subconscious mind. This expectancy is not mere wishful thinking. It is a powerful mental attitude that sets creative forces in motion. As you continue to dwell on this oneness, notice how your daily thoughts begin to transform. Words like, "I can't afford it," lose their power over you because you now know they only program limitation into the subconscious. Instead, you choose thoughts that affirm plenty. You become conscious of your true worth, recognizing that you are worthy of all good things simply because you exist as an expression of life itself. Giving and receiving become balanced in your experience. You give your talents freely, knowing that the subconscious returns to you in wonderful ways. The subconscious mind accepts your dominant feelings as commands. When you feel rich inside, when you carry the inner sense of security, freedom, and gratitude for abundance, that feeling impresses itself deeply and begins to objectify in your world. Murphy often pointed out that a mental picture held with faith is worth 1,000 words. So as you affirm your oneness, pair it with rich, detailed imagery. Picture yourself handling money with ease and joy. Feel the satisfaction of meeting all your needs and having surplus to share. Experience the excitement of new doors opening. Let these feelings saturate your being. This practice works because the subconscious is timeless and ageless. It responds equally well today as it did for those Murphy helped decades ago. It does not care about past failures or current bank balances. It cares only about what you are impressing upon it now with conviction. Each time you return to the statement, "I am one with the infinite riches of my subconscious mind," you strengthen the impression. Repetition builds habit, and habit shapes character and circumstance. Think of the subconscious as a faithful servant that fulfills your wishes without question. It is ruled by suggestion, and you are the one who provides the suggestions. Choose suggestions of infinite riches, and watch how life responds. Choose thoughts of harmony, success, and financial freedom, and the subconscious will orchestrate events to match those thoughts. This is not magic in the superstitious sense, but the reliable operation of mental and spiritual law. As this truth deepens within you, fear of lack begins to dissolve. You realize that poverty is not a condition imposed by the world, but a state of mind that can be changed at any moment. The poor man, in Murphy's view, is simply someone who has not yet learned how to operate and release the riches of his own mind. But the moment that realization dawns and the affirmation takes root, a new chapter begins. The desert of limitation starts to blossom as the rose of abundance. You live in a fathomless sea of infinite riches. Your subconscious is sensitive to every thought you entertain. Guard your mind carefully then, and fill it with the awareness of your oneness. Speak to your subconscious as you would speak to a beloved friend who has unlimited power to help you. Tell it clearly and feelingly that you are one with its infinite riches. Feel the truth of it. Believe it completely. Expect it to manifest in divine order and in perfect ways. Every great achievement in history began as an idea in someone's mind. Every fortune started as a thought impression in the subconscious. When you align with infinite riches, you join the ranks of those who have discovered that the real gold mine is within. You stop competing and start creating. You stop worrying and start trusting the inner power that never fails. Continue nourishing this idea daily, morning and evening, in quiet moments throughout the day. Return to the feeling of being one with the infinite riches of your subconscious mind. Let it become the dominant melody of your inner life. As it does, you will notice subtle shifts. At first, perhaps a new idea, a helpful conversation, a sense of calm confidence. Then larger manifestations as the subconscious brings forth its treasures in ever-increasing measure. This oneness liberates you from the illusion of separation. You are not a limited human begging for crumbs from a scarce universe. You are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence, endowed with the power to draw forth whatever you need. Money, opportunities, creative ideas, supportive relationships. All these are natural expressions of the riches already within you. Embrace this truth fully. Let it permeate your consciousness until it feels more real than any outer appearance of lack. The subconscious mind will then work for you 24 hours a day, even while you sleep, rearranging your world to reflect your inner conviction of abundance. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. Solutions will appear where problems once stood. Resources will flow to you as easily as air fills your lungs. The more you live from this awareness, the more evidence you will see that you truly are one with the infinite riches of your subconscious mind. It is not a distant ideal, but a present reality available to anyone willing to claim it. Murphy's teachings remind us again and again that the power is within, the supply is within, the riches are within. All that remains is to awaken to that truth and let it express fully in your life. As this realization grows stronger, you naturally begin to see abundance everywhere in nature, in the generosity of life, in the potential of every new day. You celebrate the success of others because their prosperity reinforces your own inner knowing. Scarcity thinking fades away, replaced by a generous, expansive consciousness that attracts even more good. You give freely of your talents, time, and resources, knowing that the circle of circulation keeps wealth flowing joyously and ceaselessly. This is the transformative power held in that single profound statement. It rewires your mental patterns, elevates your expectations, and opens channels for unlimited good to pour into your experience. Stay with this idea. Feel it. Live it. Let it become the foundational truth of your being, and the infinite riches of your subconscious mind will respond in ways that exceed your brightest dreams. The gold mine is open. The treasure house is yours. You are one with it now and always. It is my right to be rich, happy, and successful. This declaration stands as one of the most liberating and empowering truths ever articulated by Dr. Joseph Murphy, cutting through centuries of conditioning that taught people to feel guilty about desiring wealth or to accept struggle as their inevitable lot in life. When you fully embrace and internalize this statement, you reject the false notion that abundance is reserved for a fortunate few, while the majority must scrape by in quiet desperation. Instead, you affirm your inherent worthiness as a living expression of infinite intelligence and boundless life. Murphy devoted entire sections of his teachings to this very idea, reminding readers in the power of your subconscious mind that it is your right to be rich. You are here on this earth to lead the abundant life, to be happy, radiant, and free. Poverty, limitation, and constant worry were never meant to be your portion. These states arise only when the conscious mind accepts false beliefs and impresses them upon the subconscious, which then dutifully outpictures them as lack and hardship. But the moment you claim you're right, the dynamic reverses. The subconscious, being creative and infinitely responsive, begins to align outer circumstances with this new inner conviction of deservingness. Consider what right truly means in this context. It is not arrogance or entitlement in the negative sense. It is a spiritual and mental recognition that life itself flows toward expansion, joy, and fulfillment. Just as a tree has the right to grow tall and bear fruit, just as the ocean has the right to move in its mighty rhythms, you have the divine right to express richness in every form: financial freedom, emotional well-being, meaningful achievement, and deep inner satisfaction. Murphy emphasized that riches of the mind are what truly make a person rich and happy. Material wealth follows naturally when the mind is first saturated with the idea of abundance and self-worth. Many people carry deep-seated guilt around money. They were told from childhood that wanting more is greedy, that rich people are somehow corrupt, or that spiritual growth requires material renunciation. These false teachings create mental blocks that the subconscious accepts as commands, resulting in self-sabotage whenever opportunity knocks. But Murphy's message dissolves such illusions. He taught that God, or the infinite intelligence within, wants you to prosper. The creative power that formed the universe did not intend for its creations to live in scarcity. Abundance is the natural order. Claiming your right to be rich is therefore an act of alignment with universal law rather than rebellion against it. Happiness and success are inseparable from this right. A life of constant financial strain rarely produces genuine happiness. When bills pile up and opportunities feel out of reach, the mind stays trapped in survival mode, leaving little room for joy, creativity, or loving relationships. Success, too, feels hollow or unattainable without the freedom that financial ease provides. By affirming that it is your right to be rich, happy, and successful, you give permission to the subconscious to orchestrate all three simultaneously. You stop settling for mere survival and step into a consciousness where prosperity supports a radiant, purposeful existence. Think about the mechanics at work here. Your subconscious mind does not question whether you deserve something. It simply accepts the dominant idea you feed it and works to make it manifest. If you have spent years thinking, "I don't deserve more," or "rich people are lucky, not me," that belief becomes your reality. But when you repeatedly impress the truth, "It is my right to be rich, happy, and successful," you overwrite the old programming. New neural pathways form. Expectancy rises. You begin to notice possibilities that were invisible before. Doors that once seemed locked start to open, because your inner state now vibrates at the frequency of deserving abundance. Murphy shared practical examples of people who transformed their lives with this exact affirmation. Individuals burdened by debt and low self-worth began to feel a quiet confidence growing within them. As they persisted in the mental acceptance of their right, unexpected income appeared, sometimes through new clients, sometimes through creative ideas that turned into profitable ventures, sometimes through opportunities they would have previously dismissed as too good to be true. The subconscious, once impressed with the idea of rightful abundance, worked ceaselessly to bring it forth in harmonious ways. Success in this framework is not measured solely by bank balances, though financial increase is a natural byproduct. True success includes the ability to express your unique talents freely, to live without fear of tomorrow, and to contribute meaningfully to the world around you. When you know it is your right to succeed, you release the need to prove yourself through frantic effort. You work from inspiration rather than desperation. Ideas flow more easily. Energy remains high because you are no longer fighting an inner battle of unworthiness. Happiness becomes your normal state because you are living in harmony with your true nature. This right extends to every area of life. You have the right to rich relationships filled with love and mutual support. You have the right to rich health and vitality that allows you to enjoy your days fully. You have the right to rich experiences, travel, learning, beauty, adventure that expand your awareness. Murphy often pointed out that the subconscious is a treasure house of infinite wisdom and power. When you claim your right, you unlock that treasure house and allow its contents to pour into your daily experience. One powerful way to strengthen this claim is through feeling. It is not enough to repeat the words mechanically. You must generate the emotion of already being rich, happy, and successful. Sit quietly and imagine the freedom of having more than enough money to meet every need and desire. Feel the lightness in your body when financial pressure lifts. Sense the joy that comes from pursuing work you love without worrying about survival. Experience the satisfaction of seeing your goals materialize one after another. These vivid mental pictures charged with positive emotion sink deeply into the subconscious and accelerate the manifestation process. Murphy warned against the trap of trying to accumulate wealth solely through hard physical labor without mental alignment. He noted that many become the richest people in the graveyard by exhausting themselves while ignoring the inner power. The sweat of the brow approach often leads to burnout because it stems from a belief in limitation and separation from the source. In contrast, when you operate from the knowing that it is your right, you combine intelligent action with relaxed faith. You do what needs to be done, but you do it with the inner assurance that the subconscious is supporting you every step of the way. Consider how this affirmation shifts your self-image. Many people carry a poor self-image that silently declares, "I am not enough." This inner poverty consciousness blocks the flow of good. By claiming your right, you rebuild your self-image on a foundation of divine worth. You see yourself as a worthy channel for infinite riches. You treat yourself with the respect and kindness that a prosperous, happy, successful person naturally extends to themselves. Small daily choices begin to reflect this new identity. How you speak about money, how you invest your time, how you care for your body and mind. The subconscious never sleeps. Even while your conscious mind rests, it continues working to fulfill the impressions you have given it. That is why consistent affirmation, especially before sleep, proves so effective. As you drift off repeating, "It is my right to be rich, happy, and successful," the idea seeds itself deeply and works through the night to bring corresponding conditions into your waking life. You may wake with fresh insights or find that solutions to previous challenges have clarified overnight. This principle applies universally, regardless of your current circumstances. Whether you are starting from zero or seeking to expand existing prosperity, the right remains the same. Murphy taught that there is no limit to the supply except the limit you place in your own mind. The universe operates on abundance. Look at nature, the endless variety of fruits, flowers, stars, and possibilities. Scarcity is a human invention born of fear and misunderstanding. When you release that fear and claim your rightful place in the abundant scheme of life, nature itself seems to cooperate. Happiness flows naturally from this claim because happiness is an inside job. External conditions can provide temporary pleasure, but lasting joy arises when the mind is at peace with its own worth and direction. Success follows because the subconscious, once convinced of your right, removes mental blocks and attracts the right people, ideas, and opportunities at the perfect time. You stop forcing outcomes and begin allowing the intelligent power within to guide you. As this truth takes deeper root, gratitude becomes a constant companion. You feel thankful for the smallest signs of increase because they confirm that your subconscious is responding. You celebrate the successes of others without envy, knowing their good does not diminish yours. In fact, their prosperity reinforces the reality that abundance is available to all who claim it. You give more freely your time, talents, resources, because you know the circle of giving and receiving is infinite. Murphy encouraged people to make this affirmation a living part of their consciousness. Write it down. Speak it aloud with conviction. Feel its truth in every cell of your being. Use it especially when old doubts try to surface. Instead of arguing with limitation, simply return to the statement of your right. Over time, the old thought patterns lose their grip, and a new wealth consciousness emerges, calm, confident, and expansive. The right to be rich includes the right to enjoy money without guilt. Money is a symbol of exchange, a tool for expressing creativity and service. When used constructively, it brings beauty, comfort, education, and help to others. Murphy loved money in the sense that he appreciated its power to bless humanity when guided by wisdom. He taught to like money, to love it constructively, and to see it circulating joyously in your life. Affirming your right removes any subconscious rejection of wealth that might otherwise push it away. Success, in Murphy's view, is the progressive realization of worthy goals. When you know it is your right, those goals feel natural and attainable. You set them with confidence rather than hesitation. You persist through challenges because failure is no longer a threat to your identity. Each step forward reinforces the inner knowing that you are living your rightful, abundant life. This affirmation also heals relationships with money from the past. Perhaps previous generations struggled and passed down beliefs of hardship. Perhaps you experienced setbacks that left emotional scars. By claiming your right now, you forgive the past and release its hold. The subconscious can be impressed with new patterns that dissolve old karma of lack. You step into the present moment as a free being entitled to all good. Visualize yourself moving through life with the quiet assurance of one who knows their rights. Picture handling financial matters with ease and intelligence. See yourself smiling more often, laughing freely, achieving milestones that once seemed distant. Feel the inner peace that comes from no longer battling scarcity in your own mind. These mental rehearsals train the subconscious to produce the corresponding outer reality. Every great fortune, every fulfilling career, every joyful life began with someone accepting a higher idea of what was possible for them. You are no different. The same infinite power that worked for them works for you the moment you align with it through this declaration. It is not reserved for special people. It is available to anyone willing to change their mental diet and feed the subconscious thoughts of rightful abundance. Continue to dwell on this idea throughout your days. In moments of decision, ask yourself what choice a rich, happy, successful person would make. In conversations about money, speak from the consciousness of plenty rather than lack. In quiet times of reflection, give thanks for the right you are now exercising. Each repetition strengthens the impression until it becomes your automatic way of being. The subconscious mind magnifies whatever you deposit. Deposit the idea of your rightful richness, and watch how it grows into tangible expressions far beyond what you could have planned consciously. Happiness multiplies as inner conflict dissolves. Success compounds as opportunities compound. Life itself becomes richer in every sense, more meaningful, more enjoyable, more aligned with your highest potential. This claim liberates you from the need to seek approval or permission from the outside world. Your right comes from within, from the creative intelligence that breathed life into you. No external authority can grant or withhold what is already yours by divine birthright. Murphy's teachings return again and again to this inner authority. The power is in your own mind. The decision is yours. The transformation begins the instant you accept that it is indeed your right. As the awareness deepens, you notice a subtle but profound shift in how you carry yourself. Posture improves. Voice gains confidence. Eyes sparkle with expectancy. People respond differently because they sense the change in your vibration. You attract those who support growth rather than reinforce limitation. Synchronicities increase because the subconscious is now actively seeking ways to fulfill your affirmed right. Financial decisions become clearer. You invest wisely not from fear, but from vision. You spend joyfully on things that enrich life rather than impulsively trying to fill an inner void. Giving becomes natural because you know there is always more where that came from. The flow remains open and continuous. Happiness is no longer postponed until certain conditions are met. It becomes a present moment experience rooted in the knowing that you are living your right. Even before full outer manifestation appears, the inner richness brings peace and contentment that external events cannot easily disturb. Success reveals itself in small and large ways. A new client appears. An idea sparks that solves a long-standing problem. Energy levels rise, allowing more productive hours without exhaustion. Relationships improve as you bring a more generous, abundant spirit into them. Murphy often reminded his audiences that the subconscious is always working for your good when given the right instructions. By claiming, "It is my right to be rich, happy, and successful," You are giving it the highest possible instruction one, aligned with life's expansive nature. The results follow in divine order, sometimes quickly, sometimes gradually, but always surely when persistence and faith are maintained. This truth applies equally to the young starting their journey and to those who feel they have lost years to limitation. Age is no barrier because the subconscious operates beyond time. The moment you claim your right, a new chapter opens regardless of the calendar page. Past mistakes lose their power to define you. Future possibilities expand infinitely. Embrace this declaration fully and watch how the subconscious begins to rearrange your world to match it. The right is real. The power is real. The abundance is waiting for your acceptance. Live from this knowing, and richness in all its forms will become your natural experience, flowing freely as you continue to affirm and feel the truth of your inherent right. Money flows to me freely, copiously, and endlessly. This vibrant declaration captures the dynamic, ever-moving nature of true prosperity as taught by Dr. Joseph Murphy, transforming the static idea of wealth into a living, circulating stream that never dries up. When you impress this truth upon your subconscious mind with deep feeling and conviction, you align yourself with the natural law of circulation that governs all abundance in the universe. Money is not a fixed, limited pile sitting somewhere waiting to be claimed through struggle. It is energy in motion, a symbol of exchange that flows joyously when your inner consciousness permits it. Murphy explained repeatedly that money flows to those who maintain a consciousness of abundance rather than scarcity. The subconscious mind acts like a universal financial institution, magnifying whatever idea you deposit into it. If you plant thoughts of restriction, delay, or insufficiency, it will produce experiences that match those impressions. But when you repeatedly affirm and feel that money flows to you freely, copiously, and endlessly, you create new mental grooves that allow wealth to move towards you in ever-increasing volume without obstruction. Freely means without force or hardship. Copiously means in generous, overflowing measure. Endlessly means without cessation or depletion, a continuous current that sustains and expands your life. This flow begins in the mind. The subconscious does not distinguish between a small sum and a large fortune. It responds to the quality of your belief. Many people block their own supply by harboring thoughts like, money is hard to get, or there is never enough. These suggestions act as dams in the river of prosperity. Murphy taught that by reversing such beliefs and affirming the free, copious, endless flow, you remove those dams and let the current rush in. He often shared how individuals who adopted this mindset suddenly received unexpected payments, new income streams, or creative ideas that translated into financial gain. The key was their inner acceptance that money circulates naturally and abundantly in their experience. Visualize this flow clearly and often. See money coming to you from multiple directions, through your work, through inspired opportunities, through generous exchanges, through wise investments. Feel the ease with which it arrives, the joy of receiving it without anxiety or attachment. Murphy encouraged people to like money, to love it constructively, and to use it wisely, because when you develop a friendly, appreciative relationship with money, the subconscious responds by increasing its circulation in your life. Money becomes a faithful servant rather than a source of worry or guilt. The word freely is especially powerful. It dissolves any subconscious notion that you must suffer, sacrifice, or manipulate to receive financial good. Prosperity arrives through harmonious channels when you release tension and trust the inner power. You stop chasing money and allow it to flow to you as you give value to the world. Murphy pointed out that those who solve problems for others, who share their talents and services with excellence, naturally draw money freely because they operate in the spirit of giving and receiving. The flow is reciprocal. Give freely, and it returns freely, often multiplied. Copiously speaks to the generous quantity. The subconscious knows no limits except those you impose. When you accept copious flow, small manifestations grow into larger ones. A single new client can lead to referrals that multiply income, One creative idea can expand into an entire venture. Murphy described wealth as coming in avalanches of abundance for those who build a wealth consciousness. This is not exaggeration, but the natural result of saturating the subconscious with the idea of plentiful supply. The mind that expects copious returns receives them because expectancy is a magnetic force that draws corresponding conditions, endlessly removes the fear of future lack. Many live with the hidden belief that good times are temporary, that money will run out, or that prosperity is seasonal. This fear creates hesitation and contraction in the subconscious, slowing or stopping the flow. By affirming endless circulation, you program continuity and permanence into your financial reality. Murphy taught that God's riches or the infinite intelligence within flow freely, copiously, and abundantly at every moment. There is always a divine surplus when you align with this truth. The supply does not depend on economic conditions, jobs, or external factors. It depends on your inner conviction that the flow never ceases. This affirmation works beautifully when combined with gratitude. Feel thankful for the money that is already flowing, even in small amounts, because gratitude multiplies the channel. Murphy often recommended ending affirmations with a sense of joy and wonder, reinforcing the positive emotion that impresses the subconscious more deeply than words alone. As you repeat, money flows to me freely, copiously, and endlessly, let a quiet excitement or peaceful confidence fill you. This emotional charge accelerates the manifestation process. Consider the practical mechanics. The subconscious operates 24 hours a day. While you sleep, it continues working on the impressions you have given it. That is why affirming this statement before bed proves so effective. You lull yourself into the feeling of abundant flow, and the deeper mind arranges events, meetings, insights, and coincidences that support continuous financial movement. Upon waking, you may find new ideas or notice opportunities that were previously invisible. The flow reveals itself step by step, building momentum as your belief strengthens. Murphy warned against trying to force wealth through sheer physical effort alone. He noted that many become rich in the graveyard by exhausting themselves while ignoring the mental and spiritual laws. In contrast, when you affirm the free, copious, endless flow, you combine intelligent action with relaxed faith. You work, create, and serve, but you do so from a consciousness of plenty rather than desperation. This approach conserves energy and opens doors that effort alone might miss. Ideas come more readily. The right people appear at the right time. Resources align effortlessly because the subconscious is actively orchestrating on your behalf. This principle applies to every form of exchange. Money flows not only as currency, but as opportunities, favors, discounts, gifts, and creative inspirations that have monetary value. One person might receive a business proposal that generates ongoing revenue. Another might discover a talent that leads to paid speaking, writing, or consulting. Still another might experience debt relief or unexpected refunds as the flow clears old blockages. The subconscious is infinitely creative in how it delivers the promised abundance. Releasing money with joy is equally important. When you spend or give, do so with the knowledge that it circulates and returns multiplied. Murphy taught to release money gladly, seeing it as a blessing that creates more blessings. Warding from fear stops the flow. Generous, wise circulation keeps it moving. This does not mean reckless spending, but conscious, constructive use investing in growth, supporting worthy causes, enjoying life's comforts while maintaining balance. The affirmation reminds you that there is always more coming, so giving does not create lack. As this truth sinks deeper, old patterns of scarcity thinking lose their power. Thoughts like, I can't afford it, are replaced by, I accept this in my mind and the money flows to me. Murphy advised selecting better thoughts whenever limitation arises. Decree abundance instead of accepting lack. Each time you choose the affirmation over worry, you strengthen the new mental habit until it becomes automatic. The subconscious then works to make the outer world conform to your inner conviction of continuous flow. This flow brings freedom. Financial pressure eases as money arrives in timely ways to meet needs and desires. You gain the liberty to pursue meaningful work without constant survival concerns. Creativity flourishes because the mind is no longer preoccupied with lack. Relationships improve as you bring a more generous, relaxed energy into them. Health benefits too, since worry about money often manifests as tension or fatigue, while the consciousness of endless flow promotes peace and vitality. Murphy shared that the feeling of wealth produces wealth. To him that hath the feeling of abundance, more shall be added. By dwelling in the sensation that money is flowing freely, copiously, and endlessly right now, you generate that magnetic feeling. Picture checks arriving, accounts growing, opportunities multiplying. Experience the relief and excitement of financial ease. Let these mental movies play vividly, charged with positive emotion, and the subconscious will externalize them in remarkable ways. The endless aspect protects against complacency or future anxiety. Even after significant increase, continue affirming the flow to maintain and expand it. Prosperity is not a one-time event, but a lifelong current. Murphy emphasized building a permanent wealth consciousness rather than seeking temporary fixes. Consistent affirmation paired with constructive action and gratitude keeps the channel wide open. This declaration also heals past financial wounds. Previous losses, debts, or mistakes no longer define your future when you affirm the present and ongoing flow. The subconscious can be reconditioned at any time. Release old regrets and impress the new truth. Forgiveness of self and circumstances clears mental debris, allowing the river of abundance to run clear and strong. In daily practice, use this affirmation in quiet moments, morning, evening, and whenever financial thoughts arise. Speak it with authority and feeling. Write it repeatedly if it helps deepen the impression. Combine it with the previous keynotes for compounded power. Your oneness with infinite riches, your right to abundance, and now the dynamic flow that brings it into tangible expression. The subconscious never argues. It accepts and fulfills. Feed it this powerful idea consistently, and it will prove its reliability by producing evidence of free, copious, endless circulation in your experience. You will notice money moving toward you in expected and unexpected ways. Bills will be met with ease. Surplus will appear for enjoyment and further growth. New avenues of income will open as the intelligent power within guides you toward greater expression of your talents and purpose. This flow is natural to life itself. Look at nature, the endless cycles of rain, growth, harvest, renewal. Scarcity is unnatural when you align with the abundant order of the universe. Murphy taught that infinite riches surround you if you open your mental eyes. The gold mine within your subconscious yields its treasures when you claim the free, copious, endless movement of wealth. As you persist with this affirmation, confidence grows. Fear of lack diminishes. You carry yourself with the quiet assurance of one who knows supply is constant. Decisions become clearer because you choose from abundance rather than scarcity. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach now appear accessible. The subconscious, convinced of continuous flow, removes obstacles and highlights paths to greater prosperity. Giving remains central. When money flows freely to you, it flows freely through you. Share your increasing good with wisdom and joy, knowing the circle continues unbroken. Murphy often reminded people that God or the infinite intelligence is the source, and that source never depletes. Your role is to stay open, expectant, and grateful. The affirmation works for everyone willing to change their mental diet. Whether starting from financial challenge or seeking to multiply existing wealth, the principle remains the same. Impress the subconscious with the idea of free, copious, endless flow and watch how life rearranges itself to match. Small signs appear first, building faith and momentum. Then larger manifestations confirm the law in action. Continue nourishing this idea daily. Let it become the background music of your mind. In conversations, speak of money with positivity. In planning, expect generous outcomes. In challenges, return to the affirmation rather than worry. Each repetition deepens the impression until the flow feels normal and inevitable. Murphy's teachings show that wealth is a state of mind first, then a material reality. By affirming that money flows to you freely, copiously, and endlessly, you cultivate that state of mind with precision and power. The subconscious responds faithfully, bringing forth the tangible evidence in divine timing and perfect ways. The current is strong, the supply abundant, the circulation continuous. You are now part of that joyful, unending stream of prosperity that enriches every aspect of your life as you maintain this liberal